Hello students, let's read our question. Kathy is painting a tree. The height of the tree is 28 feet. She wants to use a scale where 5/2 inches, and you see we changing the unit. 5/2 inches is 10 feet. What could be the height of the tree in the painting? What could be the height in the painting? I did circle, underline, and box. Students, when you're solving questions, the recommendation is to read at least 2 times. In the videos, just so we can save time, we read it only once. But when I'm solving questions myself, I like to read them at least 2 times or 3 to make sure that I don't make a careless mistake where I don't understand what the question is and then not get all the points that I'm supposed to get. We're gonna go back and see. They said the height of the tree is 28 feet and they're using a scale where 5/2 inches is 10 feet. Okay, so for elaborate, I'm gonna identify in one side the units in feet and on the other side the units in inches. So I'm gonna write my labels, and my labels will be feet, and then I said inches. For feet, I'm using the yellow, and for inches, the blue. Now, on the story they mentioned the height of the tree is 28 feet, so I'm gonna put that right here. And they want to use a scale where, so this is the scale, this is very important. The scale where 5/2 inches, okay, so that will be here on the inches side, you see, 5/2 inches is the equal sign reads as is 10 feet, and the 10 feet will be then on the left side. These are feet, and the 28 also are feet. And you see all this information, I'm going to put it in this color in yellow. And the question is, what is the height of the tree in the painting? In the painting means in the scale, right? Because in the painting they're not going to have the big tree, they're going to make a scale of the tree on where every single part of the tree is going to be the same, we're going to have the same proportion as the actual tree. So then this is the number that we don't know. And remember, this looks like a table. So then I can use the strategy of finding the pattern and then applying that pattern. So here what I'm doing, I'm going from here to here. And if I do that, I will have to see 10 times what gives me 5/2. That is one way. The other way is finding the up and down pattern. Since I have to go from here to here, I will have to see what can I do to go from here to here. And to go from 10 to 28, I will have to find by what number I have to multiply the 10 and then apply that pattern here. The other thing, guys, that we always can do is if we don't find the pattern, we can apply proportions, which is find the cross product and then divide by the other number that we don't have. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite 5/2 into decimal, because always working out with decimals is very friendly. And what I'm going to get started with, I'm going to get started writing 1/2 on the side. And I know that 1/2 in decimal is 0.5, right? Good. So now what if I have 2/2? 2/2. I'm sorry, it's 2/2. That will be 1.0 because it will be 0.5 plus 0.5. What about 3/2? That will be 1.5. What about 4/2? That will be 2. And the one that we have is 5/2. So that will be 2.5. You see, we're adding 0.5 every time. 0.5 plus 0.5, 1. 1 plus 0.5, 1.5. 1.5 plus 0.5, that makes 2, and so forth, until we get to the 5.2. So 5/2 is the same as having 2.5 inches. So I'm going to be using this value. So I'm going to say, okay, so let's multiply. We're going to multiply these two that are across, and then we're going to divide by the other one that we don't have, that we have here. I'm going to put it as an expression right here. Then, so here, the number that we are looking for is our x. It's going to be equal to 28 times 2.5 and then divided by 10. How did I get these values? Remember, I said we want to multiply 28 times 2.5 because these two are across. You see how here they are across, the yellow one and the blue? So those are the two that we multiply. And then the one that is by itself, that one we're going to divide. So let's get started and let's multiply on the side. 28 times 2.5. And I'm gonna highlight my numbers so you can see how I got my numbers. The first one is 28. It's not 2.8, it's 28. Let me fix that, guys. Here, so I got this one from this section right here, and this 2.5 from here. Now we're gonna multiply. 5 times 8, 40. 0 and we carry 4. 5 times 2, 10. Plus 4, 14. Great. We skip this value because we already used this place value, so we use this as placeholder. Now we're gonna do the 2. 2 times 8, 16. 6 and we carry 1. 2 times 2, 4. Plus 1, that's a 5. Let's add. 0 plus nothing, 0. 4 plus 6, 10. 0 and we carry 1. 1 plus 1, that's 2. Plus 5, that's a 7. Next step, guys, let's identify the decimals in each factor. On the first factor, there's none. On the second one, there's just 1. So it's going to be 1. 0 plus 1, that's going to be 1 digit. So we move the decimal point one time. So now we're going to continue here. When I multiply 28 times 2.5, you see, we got a 70. I bring down this division symbol and the 10. The 10, I keep it the same so you can see it just carry over. And this, I don't use these colors anymore because now this is a mix of these two. And dividing 70 by 10, guys, what's going to happen to the 70? Is this number going to get smaller or bigger? It's going to get smaller. It's going to be divided into 10 pieces. Like the symbol here says, divide this into 10 pieces. So 10 times what is going to give me 70? Yes, it's going to be exactly. So we can do this, guys. We can simplify here. 10 divided by 10, so that I can say a 1 here, and 70 into 10, that's gonna be 7. In other words, it's like when we are dividing, also what we can do is we just drop a 0, because that's the effect of dividing by 10. See, guys? And 7 divided by a 1, well, that one you can tell. That is just a 7. So that should be your answer. And this is a whole number. So what does that mean? If I have a whole number, where do you think is going to be the decimal point? In front of the 7 or behind the 7? And if this is a whole number, the answer is that decimal point must be behind. It's like having 0 tenths, 0 hundreds, 0 thousands, etc. Right? So that's what I'm going to do here. So look, we highlight our decimal point, and this is our decimal point here. And now my 7 goes in front. So when you are completing those questions that have multiple answer choices or scantrons where you have to bubble in, not the multiple choices, but a scantron where you have to bubble in, so just make sure that you identify your decimal point and then you can complete the other digits. Just to make it a habit to make sure that you never miss a negative sign. Also bubble in when that is a positive. In this case, it's a positive answer. And then you may or you may not bubble in the decimals behind the point. And you got the answer correct. Awesome, guys. Thank you.